Okay, hello again. This is Rodney Utt at 966 Chelham, which is a job I've got underway. Just left the Montecito job on Hot Springs. It was an unbelievable ADU with big vaulted ceilings and really nice clean framing and all kinds of clean details. And now we're over at my job, which is really a mess. It's a mess with the rain, and it hasn't been cleaned up this week. It's going to get cleaned up later today, before the end of the day. But I just want to show you some framing details. There's a bunch of blocking. Now, I don't, as far as I know, I don't think blocking is required. It's nice to do it at 4 feet. You have to block a wall that's 10 feet, or maybe over 8 feet, but 10 feet walls have to be fire blocked. But I think these guys block walls, and I think that the code is you have to block one bay over from each corner, but these guys go ahead and block all the way, which I'm pretty... Oh no, I take it back. That's a shear wall. That's why that's blocked like that. So they have nailing. They have to have edge nailing on the shear wall. And up here you can see the A35s, which have to be, like I said before in the last video, top plate to freeze block pretty much everywhere where a roof lands on a wall, on an exterior wall. And you can see some of that white tubing is, that's Romex. That's Romex. Okay, that's just Romex. And then this is tubing right here. That's for the water line that feeds the refrigerator, chilled water, and ice maker. This job is wrapped right now. Lath is not finished. Just basically dried in with a Tyvek house wrap and Tyvek stucco wrap. This is the garage door opening, which is giving me fits and continues to do so. And that's another story. Let's go in and take a look at the framing, because Jim asked me to deal with framing, I think. I'm pretty sure that's what he said. So I've got new and old framing in here. You can see the new framing is pretty obvious. That wall's actually been furred, needed to be furred out. This is a shear wall, which I showed you the outside of, and that's why we have that blocking. This wall is blocked because it's over 10 feet to the plate. It's what we call balloon framed, which is what gable end walls should be, and not western frame, because it creates a hinge on a gable end wall, and I will explain that. But right now, suffice to say that this wall is now framed right. Nailing plates over wherever the drywall guys could hit something. We got insulated water pipes. We have nailing plates over them. Insulated hot water. We got gas coming from the utility room, which is will be our new gas stub. Coming to the new laundry location. Fireplace framing. Let's see if I can get some better light. How am I doing on battery here? I better check that. I'm trying to keep my finger out of the lens too. I know you guys hate that. I know I hate that. Okay, I got 61 minutes of battery. That ought to do it. All right, another shear wall. You can tell by the nailing. This was the extension. This job was side-built trusses. This was an exterior wall where I'm standing, right here, and we pushed it out. I forget how many feet. Looks like about 12 feet. The living room with a new shed roof that California's onto this existing roof, and ask me about a California roof and I'll tell you about it. All these rafters are hung with a U26 hanger, and or maybe these are 2x8s. Yeah, I think they're 2x8s. U28 hanger with the bottom cut off because they thought it was going to get sheeted all the way up to there, but they could have left the bottoms on of those hangers. Because this is all getting TNG, but that's all getting softened. So everything you see here running on this beam, this parallel beam, this LVL, which this existing site-built trusses were shored with a shoring wall, like right along here, and then the exterior wall is removed, and this beam was put into place after the footings were poured. Of course, there's a footing under there, and there's a footing underneath this post here. You can see, yeah, it was all undercut. It was undercut beneath the existing slab and then formed in the new footing. Pretty good size pad footing to support the post. You can see the strap right there. It straps the beam and it bends down and strapped on the post underneath the shear. Then this beam I'm going to fur out. So this gets isoning because it's a volume ceiling, and I don't want to have to vent these rafter bays, so I am going to isoning it with foam. And then on TNG, it's going to get panel with TNG, the ceiling. And then all of this Smurf tube, duct work. Let's see, I've got gas running there, a bunch of data. I guess all my Romex and stuff is run through board and run through the rafters. But all this stuff is going to get, this is going to become a chase. So I'm going to box this in, probably with drywall maybe, or maybe with this same stuff that we're going to TNG with, and make a big box here that covers all that stuff. I can draw that for any of you that are confused. Now, while I'm in this room, I want to tell you that the living room right here is going to stay like this. In other words, these site-built trusses are going to show. Now, we're going to clean them up a little bit. These plywood gussets, we've got some denailing to do, and we're going to take a wire brush to them. They all paint out. So drywall will go all the way up this gable end wall, all the way up to the ceiling. The ceiling gets no drywall. It gets exactly what you see there, only painted. Now that's the 1x6 sheeting that was installed for the original shingle roof. That's all you need is the spacing on that sheeting, because the shingles just, they only need that one piece of nailing. So when we stripped the roof, we left the 1x6 on, and then we dropped 1x4s in, just so you, so let's see, we could have left them out and then sheeted on top of that, and you just seen a recess between each one and seen the plywood. And this way you're going to see wood all the way along, and it'll all get painted. So if you can try to envision this painted, it's going to be a volume ceiling with these trusses showing. The owner had seen it somewhere and really liked it, so she's doing it here. And you can see some of the strapping. We got some really big straps. It's called out on our plan. And they all have to be put in. Our inspectors are very careful, and they found a couple of areas where the strapping was off, and a couple of things that need to be fixed. We were called on, and we got them fixed. Well, we've got this wall in for a revision because we had to reframe it because it was so flimsy and so out of plumb, and the owner wanted to change the 2 windows from the plan to 3 windows. So now we've got to get a revision, and but we can keep going, and we are keeping going. Of course, I've been told to do that at my own risk, and I'm willing to take the risk. Okay, so let's look at some other framing in here. Yeah, this is pretty trippy, huh? So no drywall. I think we'll probably take the bottom of this paralam that we're going to box and chase, and I think we'll probably bring it and cover. Bring it out to and finish it, and maybe a little bit of let in relieve for the bottom of the TNG, and just stop the solid TNG on that box so we can cover all those hangers too. Yeah, that'll be the finish work part, but you got to anticipate the finish when you do the framing, because everything affects everything else. Remember, everything affects everything else, and I mean everything. We don't need drywall nailing here because we don't have a ceiling. Normally, I need a pointer. I usually have a laser pointer. Okay, so, no, wait, here's a great pointer right here. Look at that. That was made to be a pointer. What's in my pocket? My phone? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, sorry for dithering. I feel like the absent-minded professor right now. All right, I'm going to put my phone in my belt clip. I know none of you needed to know this, but you're with me. Okay, so if this were a regular ceiling, right, it was going to get drywall across these joists, then you'd need to put a 2x here for nailing to catch the drywall ceiling. Same thing here. If this drywall were going to be on these ceiling joists, and then come across as a ceiling, you'd need to get a nailer, obviously, on this wall to catch the drywall. But since this is volume and these are staying open, we don't need to do that. Pretty interesting piece of framing here. This is the kitchen, by the way. And when we get into that, I hope to be able to show you some the kitchen plans, and since I designed it based on what the owner wanted. And you know, while I know we're going to be doing plumbing too, but you can see the vents. That vent's dirty armed. These vents are all tied in to one vent, so we got to clean out on the outside of that one. That vent comes over, ties into the laundry vent. That's the laundry. That's the laundry drain. That's also right here. That and that is water softener and let's see. What else is? So the water softener's got condensate. Is it the air conditioner condensate? I'm not sure, but these are condensate lines that have to be plumbed. In this case, pumped and then plumbed to a sanitary waste, and they're going to plumb. They're plumbed to the washer waste. Fireplace framing was as advertised, and it looks like the fireplace went in pretty darn easy. We've got to get the chimney stuccoed before I can do the roof. So let's go look at some of this other framing. This was a remodel, this part. So this was an existing wall. It got reframed brand new. I'm not sure why. I think something happened to this bedroom. This is some of the existing framing. You can see existing framing in the bathroom. Probably have pretty bad light in here. The ceiling was a major pain to frame because it has all these openings. Has a skylight opening, has a return air opening right there, and has an access opening right there. Yeah, come on down. You know that's return air, right? Yes, of course you do. Okay, let's just go into this room. This wall got this existing framing got reframed. Got an opening. A slider was pulled out. We put a window in. You can see the cripple studs above. Existing plates. New rough sill. A double sill. Existing framing. Yep, this is going to be covered. This will be a drop ceiling. So this gets a drop ceiling, hard drop ceiling. So this all gets drywall on the ceiling. This gets drywall on the ceiling. Okay. Let's come on down to a new part of the framing. So this is all new framing. New framing. Yeah. New framing. New headers. New skylight well framing. Pretty cool. The way that's headed off, the way they frame this based on the skylight. Gets the drywall ceiling. See our ductwork is going in right now. These fans, this ceiling fan will tie into the other bathroom ceiling fan, and then they'll exit high wall with like a dryer vent on this eastern wall, rather than a roof penetration. I like to limit the roof penetrations as I can. You can see plumbing in here, and we'll go over plumbing, I guess, in another episode when Jim gets to plumbing, which I think is coming right up. So let's walk into the master bedroom. This got framed in 2x6 instead of 2x4. We changed the framer's bid. We asked him to upgrade to 2x6 because, as it turned out, with the grades the way they were, we did a 2x4 stem wall here and went to 2x6 framing. This is a volume ceiling too, just per plan. The ceiling joists are going to stay the way they are. The rafters, up between the rafter spaces, will get isonine because it's a volume ceiling, and if we put in bad insulation, we'd have to vent each bay out the eaves, and it's a pain. and it's inviting moisture and other things. So by doing foam, we can go ahead and cover it, and we don't have to vent them. And we're going to cover it with TNG. Again, this is going to skin with a 1x6 TNG. So just the bottom of that ridge will expose, and all these ceiling joists will be exposed. There's an A35 everywhere. I think it's on the outside there. It's funny, this was put up there for nailing. And I need to get that out of there. That's all that is a nailer. And I need that to go away because this drywall is going to go all the way up. Now this is a balloon framed wall and blocked. So the framing goes all the way up and it's blocked in between because it's over 10 feet. Has to have fire blocking. But this nailer's got to go, and I suspect, and see they did not put a nailer over here, which is weird. Or if they did, it got pulled out. So, and these guys are here at my behest to catch the 1x6, right? 1x6 in here.